Hey everyone, this is Mr. Isometric, and in this video we are going to talk about clamp to bone constraint. So let me first add in the armature. Let's go into the edit mode, Shift D, Y. Now let's go into the armature properties, turn on the name and axis. Let's make the axis to 0.5 so that we know which axis is our local one. So this is right now representing our local axis. We might not need it, but it's good to have them. So in the pose mode, I want to add constraint on this bone number 1. So let me go into the bone constraint and we will select the clamp to bone constraint. Now it is red because the target is empty. So if you hover over on the target, you'll see that it is asking for a target object. Now that target object has to be a curve only. So let me go into the object mode again. Let's add in a curve object. Now I'm taking this cyclic circle. You can take any of the other non-cyclic curves if you want. Okay, so now let's select our armature. Let's go into the pose mode again. Now let's select this curve, and as you can see we are not able to select it, and the reason why is that I don't know why it does like that. But if you click over here, you can select the curve from over there. So do make sure that you rename your curve an appropriate name. So as you can see, we have a few settings, which is main axis and cyclic. So let me first select our constraint bone and then let's move it in the X. And as you can see, I'm just moving this bone in the X direction and it is following the curve. Now what this constraint does is it clamps your bone to a certain curve path. And now the reason why I chose a cyclic curve is because now if I click on the cyclic checkbox, if I now take this, it is now going to keep on rotating on that curve itself. Now the shape of the curve really don't matter that much. So I can go into the edit mode. If I grab it up like this, now let's go into the object mode. Let's go into the pose mode over here. Now if I select this bone and move it on the X, you'll see that it is following the curve like that. So let me just undo everything for a bit. Okay, now let's select that, go into the pose mode. Okay, now over here you'll see that we have a main axis. Now it is right now set to auto just auto assigns this axis that you see over here. So if I move it on the X, it is moving, but if I move it on the Y and Z, it does not move at all. So what if I want to move it on the Y? Then I will force it to use the Y. Now if I move it on the Y, you'll see that Y axis is now controlling the movement on the curve. Now if I select the X axis, then X is controlling it. Also do make sure that bone actually moves in the space. So press Alt G and Alt R to refresh or reset its position and rotation. So let's select the Y is working. Let's select the Z, and my Z is not working. And the reason why is that the bone is perpendicular to the curve. That's why like it is not moving itself. So to overcome this, sometimes you might want to use Z, and Z will work. Suppose if your curve, if I rotate this on the Z by 90 like that, let's go into the pose mode. Now select the bone, and now Z will work because it is right now like a tangent, like this head is right now tangent to that and not perpendicular or parallel. As you can see now, if I want to make it move on the X, is X working? Nope, X will not work. So anything that is directly perpendicular to the curve itself will not work, but Y will work now. As you can see, you can keep it on the auto and it will auto assign the axis that can work with it. So right now the best fit to move this bone is the Z, so it will just pick the best one for you. You can remove the cyclic if you want, and it will just stay clamped in between two values like this. See, it is not going beyond that limit, so it will complete one full circle. So that is the clamp to bone constraint. So now the influence. So influence is basically your on and off switch for this constraint. You can animate this value, you can keep it at 50%, so it will only work 50%, as you can see. So yeah, it is helpful when you are stacking some constraints together, or else it is just useful when you are turning, if you want to turn this constraint on and off. So yeah, that's how clamp to bone constraint work. This was a pretty short constraint. So in the next video, we will talk about our next bone constraint, which is damp track. And to be the first one to watch that video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like this video if this video helped you in any way, or if you learned something new. I have created a Discord server. Link will be in the description below. If you want to support me on Ko-fi, you can. It will be highly appreciated. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.